When it comes to US President Donald Trump, he will call Russian president today. That's what he himself announced. So let's read what he posted on his True Social. I will be speaking by the phone to President Vladimir Putin of Russia on Monday at 10 a.m., I guess 10 a.m. Washington time. The subject of the call will be stopping the bloodbath that is killing on average more than 5,000 Russian and Ukrainian soldiers. I mean, he is fixated on this number, 5,000, I guess. And also, Trump wants to discuss with Russian President trade. And quote here, I will then be speaking to President Zelensky of Ukraine, and then with the President Zelensky, various members of NATO. Hopefully, it will be productive day. A ceasefire will take place, and this very violent war and war that should never have happened will end. God bless us all. So, okay, Trump most likely will call Russian president today. And in today's evening news, dear friends, at 7 o'clock in the evening Moscow time, I will of course share whatever information will be available on this matter also. But if we being serious, I mean, what kind of outcome we should expect from this phone conversation between Trump and Putin? Immediate outcome, at least. I don't think we should expect anything at all. And probably after a phone conversation, if it will take place, both sides will just say some diplomatic stuff that it was an interesting conversation, sides exchange opinions about this and that topic, and agreed to continue consultations or talks on various topics, including Ukrainian crisis, because obviously Russian president cannot agree on immediate ceasefire, 30-day ceasefire that globalists and globalist control regimes in Europe are demanding together with their proxy regime in Kiev, right? Russian side was very clear, I think, in recent Istanbul talks, during the recent Istanbul talks. At this point, sides did manage to reach an agreement to release 1,000 POWs, each prisoners of the war, from each side, which is a good agreement, obviously. And the sides also reach agreement to present in short time detailed plan how each side sees ceasefire, implementation of their ceasefire. So therefore, while there is a disagreement in the place, I don't think Trump is in a position to demand immediate ceasefire, and I don't think he will even try to do so. So therefore, I struggle to understand what is going to be real, why he is calling Russian president now. I don't know. We will find out. Anyways, by the way, discussion or talks are better than hostility. So maybe this increased dialogue, let's say, between Washington and Moscow will truly help at one point to de-escalate. Let's hope so. Meanwhile, as I already said, Russian president and the Russian delegation in Istanbul was very clear about Russian goals, and RT reported yesterday and many other media outlets that Russian president once again outlined results Moscow seeks in regards to Ukraine. So let's go through this news here. Russia is seeking to achieve a lasting and sustainable peace by eliminating the root causes of the Ukraine conflict. President Vladimir Putin has stated in an extract of an interview released by Russia One TV on yesterday. In this clip posted by journalist Pavel Zarubin on Telegram, Putin stated that Russia has enough strength and resources to bring what was started in 2022 to its logical conclusion, while accomplishing Moscow's key goals. And we all know what these key goals are: demilitarization and denazification of Ukraine, protection of minorities, right? Protection of all people, including minorities, and including Russian-speaking minorities, people that consider themselves to be Russians or part of Russian world, that are prosecuted basically by Kyiv regime since 2014, when US orchestrated, in cooperation with a number of European states, bloody coup d'etat in Kiev. Russia wants to eliminate their causes that initiated this crisis, create conditions for long-term sustainable peace, and ensure the security of the Russian state and the interests of our people in those territories that we always talk about, he added. The president was apparently referring to Crimea, Donetsk, and Lugansk People's Republics and the regions of Kherson and Zaporozhye, which overwhelmingly voted in favor of joining the Russia in referendums in 2014 and 2022. So this is Russian position, by the way, which is don't really changed since 2022, and time to time Russian president and some other high-ranking officials basically are repeating themselves and once again highlighting where Russia stands, and therefore it will be better, I think, if Western elites, especially in US, by the way, if Trump and his administration really seeks the escalation, if they will listen to Russian leadership and Russia's positions a little more carefully, that will help. That will help to avoid at least some misunderstandings. And by the way, as I already said, Trump intends to call Russian president today. And before he will call here in Moscow, number of European allies of Kyiv regime wants to have also a conversation with Trump. Among them, a newly appointed Chancellor of Germany, Friedrich Merz. So, according to, German Chancellor Friedrich Merz said that he had agreed to talk with US President Donald Trump. The topic will be the phone talks between Russian President Vladimir Putin and his American counterpart, scheduled for May 19th. According to the German Chancellor, 3 more heads of the states will take part in the conversation: UK, France, and Poland. Merz added that he had already discussed the upcoming conversation between Vladimir Putin and Donald Trump with US Secretary of State Marco Rubio. We can only hope for further progress, the Bild newspaper quotes the German Chancellor as saying, and we'll understand what is going on, isn't it? Globalists don't want no peace. Globalists want globalists and their puppet regimes, by the way, in Europe, in the very countries that Merz mentioned, UK, France, Germany itself also, and Poland and a number of others, they are not ready to acknowledge that they lost this proxy war that they are waging against Russia, right? They are not ready to face the reality, and therefore they will push as much as and as long as they can for a prolongation of this conflict, even though they are talking about this 30-day ceasefire on daily basis. But in reality, we all know that they care not about peace. What they want is a break for their proxy regime in Kiev and forces of this proxy regime, right? We all know that. And while organizing this phone conversation between leaders of France, Germany, Poland, and UK with Trump, I think globalists and globalist puppets want to influence US president to basically derail potential de-escalation between Washington and Moscow. That's what is happening. And I don't have strong opinion or strong prediction, I don't have strong opinion to predict how Trump will react and what should we expect from Washington. Situation may go both ways, isn't it? The US may go on the ladder of de-escalation, or exactly opposite might also happen. And as I reported in previous updates, there is a preparations in US Senate, isn't it, and Congress to introduce additional sanctions on Russia and also sanctions on the countries that are cooperating with Russia, right? So therefore, we should wait and see. Situation between or relationships between Moscow and Washington might either improve in upcoming days and weeks, at least step by step, or will deteriorate on levels and maybe even beyond that we see during the Biden's administration. Dear friends, if you like my work, please help me to maintain and basically save this independent media project. You can assist through several ways. You can buy me coffee through coffee platform, or donate through PayPal and Boosty platforms, or you can subscribe to my Patreon page or on page that I have on the Boosty. All the links are on this video description box and in the pinned comment, including crypto address. Many thanks to everyone who already helped. Truly grateful.